Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 21st October 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. And all the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So to access all the training lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Then you get access to this post. This post is having two YouTube playlist links that are having all the training lessons. First playlist is having all the training lessons. Second one is having lesson 1.1 to lesson 8.2 examples videos. So click on the first playlist. Here you have all the training lessons up to lesson 30. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So complete the first lesson 1.1, then go to the examples playlist, complete lesson 1.1, and then come back to lesson 1.2. Proceed this process, and if you learn all the lessons in this order, it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader in the coming days. I also provided all the training instructions at our Telegram channel. You can find the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So please join at our Telegram channel. Once you join, in the old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. If you follow all the training instructions, then this course will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am going to NeoStock Software, so supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. So I am generating stocks near daily and 75 minutes time frames in the first report, so that we can identify high priority, high liquidity zones, and using those zones we can apply high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video, and it is useful for intraday traders. And later I will generate NIFTY, BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports, and then different short-term and swing trade, income trade reports I will generate. And after that, stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames I will generate. Finally, I will generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. Okay, first daily time frame. Stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 11 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Okay, Inox Wind is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Naukri is not valid because it is a pierced zone. Anybody would like to apply pierced zone strategy that you learned in lesson 28? You can apply that strategy for this stock. But when it comes to high liquidity zones, we have only one valid high liquidity daily demand zone from this list. Okay, next, for daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 17 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity zone, supply zones from this list. APL Apollo is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. BEL is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Next, Sun Pharma is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. So total we identified 3 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. So NIFTY is at its 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. near to the 75 minutes high liquidity. Next, APL Apollo is having at 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Next, Bharat Forge is at 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Next, Bosch is having 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Next one is Pidilite Industries is having 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. So total 5 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones identified from this list. Okay, next 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone. We got only 2 stocks and we don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. So this is about stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones for your HLQ zone strategy. Land in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, next I will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. So I am generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And one time frame higher is ITF trend and one more time frame higher is HTF trend. You already learned these points. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds times to watch the reports. So remember all the rules for all the supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. Changing the name to NIFTY Bank, that is nothing but BANKNIFTY. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report generation. So completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty. Next, I am generating sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. Starting with sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame should be daily. Entry zone, demand zone. Bullish or bearish or sideways at entry time frame daily. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhanced score 11 for sideways. And third filter pierced zones I am allowing only for daily time frame, because those who wants to use any pierced zones, you can apply pierced zone strategy that you land in lesson 28 only for daily time frame. So 3 stocks are filtered, 1 pierced zone, ignore it for sideways short long trade setup. So you have 2 daily demand zones supporting sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade. You should plan trades in these 2 zones only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup changes our daily supply zone and a sideways short and daily time frame. Let's filter. We don't have any stocks. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade changes our daily demand zone. Here bullish, minimum odd and enhanced score should be 12. Let's filter. So we got 24 stocks. So first 19 stocks in the list, and all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. Bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Scrolling the list down, total 24 stocks are filtered. Out of these 24 daily demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup daily demand zones might be available. We need to filter them based on 2 different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. Okay, first strategy is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF demand zone with ITF EMA confluence. Let's apply that strategy step by step. First, LTF and ITF demand zone, that is the daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Applying the filter on the 24 stocks, we got 19 stocks. First 18 stocks, scrolling the list down, 19 stocks are filtered. In all the 19 stocks, the daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. And also weekly trend, ITF trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So let us apply the second filter, that is a weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, because weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. Now we got 13 stocks. So these 13 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of these daily demand zone violation. So lesson 20 checklists are very, very important. If they are satisfied, then only you should plan the trades. So these are the high probability trade setup daily demand zones based on the first strategy. Okay, next let's filter high probability trade setup supported daily demand zones based on the second strategy. That is LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence, and then HTF demand zone with HTF EMA confluence. So I am removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set, that is daily and weekly, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, 4 stocks are having uptrend. So these 4 uptrend stocks further filter based on weekly demand zone having monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. That is monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. 2 stocks are filtered. So these 2 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So these are the high probability trade setup support zones for monthly income trade, bullish trade setup. Okay, next monthly income trade, bearish trade setup. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at daily, selecting bearish, zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhance score 12. Let's filter. We got only 2 stocks and one is pierced zone. You can't use it, you have only one more. Let's check any LTF, ITF supply zone confluence is supported in those zones. Supply zone confluence, daily and weekly supply zone is enabled. So it is filtered, but it is a pierced zone, ignoring it because you have to use only pierced zone strategy. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So next I'm going to generate weekly income trade reports. First, weekly income trade sideways long trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. Here bullish or bearish or sideways at 75 minutes. I'm selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score 11 for sideways, and third filter I'm allowing, that is 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, I'm selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone pierced count is 0. That means zone is not pierced. Which zone? Because this filter is applied on 75 minutes demand zone, whatever we select here. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for a weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zone. You should plan trades only if less than 30.3, because it is sideways trade setup. Less than 30.3 checklist items should satisfy, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. Next, sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade, changes are 75 minutes supply zone, and here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. If less than 30.3 video checklist items satisfy, you can plan the trades. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Changes are 75 minutes demand zone. Here bullish, minimum order enhancer score should be 12. Let's filter. First 16 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and all the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So first 16 in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 19 stocks are filtered. Out of these 19, how many 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on 2 different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you land in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. First strategy. So let me apply both the rules one by one. First filter LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence, and applying this filter on the stocks. First 16 stocks in the list, all the 75 minutes demand zones. Scrolling the list down, so 18 stocks are filtered, and in all the 18, ITF trend, that is a daily trend, is uptrend because 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with the daily time frame. So we are looking for daily trend, that is ITF trend, uptrend in all the stocks. So let us add second filter, that is daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So 12 stocks are filtered. So these 12 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. Okay, these are the high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones based on the first strategy. Next we will filter based on the second strategy, that is LTF, ITF, HTF, all the three demand zone confluence, and then HTF demand zone with HTF EMA confluence. Let's apply that filter. So I am going back, removing ITF EMA filter, demand zone confluence, three filters we have to set, that is 75 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. By setting all the three filters, we got 8 stocks. In all the 8 stocks, all these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is uptrend in all the stocks except 7th one. So ignore the 7th and remaining 7 stocks. Let's check if weekly demand, so sorry, this is not monthly, this is weekly. Let us check weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. So weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. At the same time, one stock is having sideways trend. We don't want that. So I am selecting only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So 5 stocks are filtered. So these 5 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. Okay, so this is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next I am generating bearish trade setup weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhanced score 12, and 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 6 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and the entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So total we got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, how many 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success as per the 2 strategies that we learned in lesson 27? So let's apply those strategies. First strategy, LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, and then ITF supply zone with ITF EMA confluence. So I am going back in the supply zone confluence. I am setting the filter LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence is enabled. After applying the filter on the 6 stocks, we got 5 stocks. And all the 75 minute supply zones overlapped with the daily supply zone. And daily trend, that is ITF trend, is downtrend in all the stocks. Let's further filter based on daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. One stock we got. So this 75 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, but less than 20 checklist items should satisfy, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. Okay, now let's apply the second strategy, that is LTF, ITF, HTF, supply zone confluence, and then ITF supply zone with ITF EMA confluence. Removing HTF supply zone with HTF EMA. I am removing ITF EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. That is 75 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, all these daily supply zones overlapped with all these 75-minute supply zones overlapped with daily, both together overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is sideways. Sideways trend EMA does not give any advantage. So as per the second strategy, I am not filtering any stocks. Only first strategy you should apply, that you learned in the previous reports. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next I will generate daily income trade reports. First, daily income trade sideways long trade setup, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at entry time frame 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 11 for sideways, and also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0, and pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced, whichever the zone you select here. So 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. Let's filter. We got 2 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. You should plan trades in these zones only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Changes are 15 minutes supply zone, and here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zone. So you should plan trades only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Okay, next bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish, minimum odd and hands score should be 12. Let's filter. We got 12 stocks, and all the entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Out of these 12 daily demand zones, there could be some out of these 12 15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup. 15 minutes demand zones might be available as per the 2 strategies that you learned in lesson 27. So first strategy, LTF, ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So I am going back, applying the first strategy step by step. So first step, 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So by applying the filter, we got 7 stocks. Again in these 7 stocks, we should further filter based on 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got only 1 stock. So this 15 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next second strategy, let us filter. Removing ITF EMA filter. As per the second strategy, first LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence filters we have to enable. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. This 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75, both together overlapped with daily demand zone, and daily trend HTF trend is up. Let's further filter EMA Confluence based on daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. No, it is not filtered. So this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 12, and 15 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. Out of these 5 15-minute supply zones, there should be some high probability trade setup 15-minute supply zones might be available. We need to filter them based on 2 different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. You learned in lesson 27. First strategy I am applying, that is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. After that, ITF supply zone with daily EMA confluence. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. First I am filtering based on this. 4 stocks are filtered. That means in all the 5, 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. 75 minutes trend, ITF trend is down. So let's add second filter, that is EMA confluence at 75-minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. By applying the filter, we don't have any stocks. So let's apply the second filter, LTF, ITF, HTF. Removing ITF filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. 15 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. That means in all the 3 15 minute supply zones overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Both together overlapped with daily supply zone. But daily trend, that is HTF trend, is sideways. Sideways trend EMA does not give any advantage. So we are not filtering any further stocks. That means we don't have any high probability trade setup 15-minute supply zones from this list. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. We have completed all the 3 income trade reports. Now I am generating stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, starting from yearly. Stocks near yearly demand zone, we don't have any stocks. Stocks near yearly supply zone, we don't have any stocks. Price closed inside yearly demand zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside yearly supply zone, we don't have any stocks. Next time frame, half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside half yearly demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside half yearly supply zone, we got 2 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near quarterly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 18 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. So it can be up or down trend. So we got 11 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 15 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 4 stocks. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got only one stock. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, 21 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 8 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 30 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. Monthly supply zone with monthly EMA at the same time. Trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 5 stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, 32 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Now the filtered stocks, first 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 19 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 60 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. Let's filter. Now filtered list, first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So 19 stocks are filtered. So this is the weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Next, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Sorry, 75 already generated in the beginning. So 25 minutes time frame. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near 25-minute supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near 15 minute supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near 5 minute supply zone. We got 10 stocks. So these are the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. And in the final report, I am generating stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that, you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.